Petey Piranha has been working his way up to become one of the main members of the Mario franchise. Not only is he a big baddie and becoming one of the biggest of the bad guys in the Mario universe, but he's also becoming a main playable character and somebody that people can relate to a lot more. Whether it's bad guy or playable character, Petey is starting to become a fan favorite and has also appeared as the final smash for Piranha Plant in Smash Bros. Ultimate. So his appearances have been coming and they are still relevant as of today, even as a playable character in Mario Tennis Aces. But with Petey making a name for himself, we can't help but wonder exactly who he is, because there's some speculation regarding his evolution and exactly where he comes from. So the question of the day is, who is Petey Piranha and where did he come from? Is he just an evolved Piranha Plant, or is there much more behind the lore? Well, of course, today we'll be talking about Petey Piranha in full detail and giving you guys the answers to all of these questions. Now let's dive into the jungle and find out where this fly trap actually comes from. So first we gotta talk about what brought upon this suspicion from the very beginning, and that will be from Super Mario Sunshine. This is the first game that he actually appeared in, but there's some deeper lore to when he came into the timeline, and we'll get to that later on. But in Super Mario Sunshine, you fight Petey Piranha 2 times, and you don't really get to see exactly where he comes from. One time he's standing on top of a windmill, and the next he's sitting on top of a ledge underneath a body of water. So there's really nothing else to really go off of where he comes from, or if he's evolved from a plant or something. We really don't know. The only thing we know is he's there, and we fight him. But then after we fight him, we actually kill him and turn him into a pile of mud. And this is what raises my suspicions, because it's like, if he's a pile of mud, does that mean he's actually not real? Now the goo that Petey spits out and also dissolves into when he dies is very similar to the goo we see all over Bianco Hills. It's that same brown, yeah, I'm gonna say it, poop color that we see all over the map. And it's really interesting because it's actually what Bowser Jr. has put down with his paintbrush. And where have we seen this? Well, we've seen it with multiple of the bosses from Super Mario Sunshine, from Wiggler to even King Boo from Serena Beach. Well, what other times have we seen Petey Piranha outside of Super Mario Sunshine? Well, we've seen him in Super Princess Peach, New Super Mario Bros., Mario & Luigi Partners in Time, Paper Mario Sticker Star, Mario & Luigi Paper Jam, Paper Mario Color Splash, and in different Mario spin-offs, such as Mario Party titles and even sports titles such as Mario Baseball and Mario Super Strikers Charged. Now the question is, do all these piranhas have anything in common? Are they the same Petey Piranha plant, or are they part of one big family or just one big organism group? Some Peteys seem to have different attributes, as in Paper Mario Color Splash, it's actually PT Piranha, a pun on a bag of tea, and it's just a completely different style of Petey Piranha. But then you have games like Super Princess Peach, where the concept is the same to defeat him. You fill his mouth with water, well in this case Peach's tears, and then you jump on his stomach in order to kind of hurt him. But then we have games like Super Smash Bros. Brawl that shows a whole process of what he may be built of inside, just like Super Mario Sunshine's goop. This one shows these little small minerals that build up into enemies in Smash Bros. Brawl. Now this could be just for the Smash Bros. Game and the story of how they create enemies, but he's created a completely different way. And also when he dies, he kind of explodes and just starts shooting fire all over him as if he's some machine and not really the real thing. Now that we know kind of the anatomy of Petey Piranha a little bit better, and we can also kind of speculate there's either multiple Petey Piranha variations or the same one, we gotta look at exactly how he's defeated in order to kind of narrow that decision down. Well, he dies in most of the games from the same thing as Mario Sunshine. You fill his belly with water, or you simply just jump on his stomach when he falls over. His stomach is his weakness, but let's go back to the water thing for a second, because this has also appeared in Super Princess Peach like I mentioned before. Why does water hurt Petey Piranha when you fill him? Petey Piranha is a plant after all, so if you give a plant water, it kind of thanks you. It grows and becomes big and strong. It doesn't really get bloated and just fall over and allow people to jump on its stomach. I mean, seriously, you could literally flood a plant for a long time and it won't die from the flood. It would take multiple days of constant downpour in order to even do any type of damage to the plant at all. Just think of tropical rainforest. I mean, the rain comes down almost torrentially every single day and nothing happens to the plants. They don't get bloated and they don't end up dying because of the rain. They actually become big and strong and actually fill the ecosystem with even more plants. So why is it that Petey seems to suffer when he gets filled with water? This also holds the case that maybe this is why Bowser Jr. made Petey Piranha. Maybe this is exactly how. Since the goop that he creates is actually extremely weak to Mario's water, maybe that's why Petey Piranha is also extremely weak to Mario's water. Well, if Bowser Jr. created Petey Piranha, is Petey Piranha a boy or a girl? Well, actually it depends. So in Super Mario Sunshine, Petey is referred to as a guy. All the Piantas around town and the Nokis refer to him as he. He did this and he did that. So it's clearly a guy. Well, for a moment, because in the French version of the game, however, Petey's name is actually changed to Flora Piranha. And Flora is derived from a female name. And in the game, Petey Piranha is a girl in the French version of Super Mario Sunshine. And this is actually going back and forth with multiple different games, even in the US, because Super Mario Strikers actually labels Petey Piranha as a female. This leads me to believe that there are many types of Petey Piranhas out there then, if some of them are male and some of them are female. You just can't keep switching the gender of the same character. It's kind of like the Birdo situation all over again. Well, how far can we go back with Petey Piranha? Well, I can tell you something that's very interesting. Super Mario Sunshine isn't the first game, timeline-wise, that Petey appeared in. Well, it's time to get a little crazy on you guys now. Well, in Mario & Luigi Partners in Time, the game is about going back in time, clearly. Well, Mario and Luigi go back in time to meet their younger selves and save Peach in Mushroom Kingdom's past from invading aliens. And they eventually reach a place called the Koopaceum. And in here is a giant coliseum where battles take place. And the aliens have that inhabited as well. Well, they toss Mario and Luigi down this pit just to be inhabited by this evil, man-eating piranha plant. Yes, it's Petey Piranha, and this is technically the first time we see him since we are in Mushroom Kingdom past. What's interesting is the place is called Gritsy Caves, and it's modeled exactly off of Petey Piranha. I mean, all the architecture and work is kind of like a relic to this guy. It's almost like a shrine for Petey Piranha, as if he was some prehistoric evil monster that they kept down here in this cave, and they kind of worshipped him, it seemed like. And this is what's really confusing, because this seems to be the birthplace, or at least the first place we see Petey Piranha. Well, let's dive into some more details. Well, according to Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto, he claims that Mario is actually 24 years of age. That's very young for the plumber. We also know that baby Mario is around 3 years old. So that means all of this stuff and the disaster of the Mushroom Kingdom actually took place 21 years ago, which actually isn't too long. This seems like it was a millennium ago, but nope, the Koopaceum and Petey Piranha in these caves was actually only 21 years ago. Now, Petey is apparently defeated in this game, and just like almost every single Mario boss ever, but they also return, so I don't know if maybe his seeds were left back and, you know, offspring were made from him, and if that's the case, does that mean this Petey Piranha is a female? Is he like the mother of piranha plants? Do males lay eggs and seeds? I don't know, but it could be the same Petey Piranha plant that just continues to reincarnate, kind of like Ridley. Before we come to a conclusion, let's dive a little bit deeper into exactly how they're made. Now, the only evidence of an origin story we have from Petey Piranha is, believe it or not, coming from Mario Baseball. It states that Petey Piranha is actually a mutated piranha plant. Now, in order for something to be mutated, something has to happen during the organism's development process. So let's go a little bit younger to when the piranha plants are just babies. So right now, let's look at the baby plant nipper. Maybe something or someone poisoned this piranha plant, and instead of growing into phase 2, it grew into what we see from Super Mario Sunshine. So yes, what I'm saying is, what if Bowser Jr. was the one to ink up the baby nipper and turn him into a gooey, polluted piranha plant? And potentially from that polluted piranha plant, they turn into Petey Piranhas. Well, that means E Gadd's invention of the paintbrush had to be invented all the way back then. Well, E Gadd, we do know, was in Mario & Luigi Partners in Time, and he was making inventions. So maybe this is an old invention that his younger self made a while back and Bowser Jr. stole in Super Mario Sunshine. So maybe E Gadd was experimenting with piranha plants and nipper plants and accidentally turned one of the nipper plants into a polluted piranha plants. Yes, this is a lot of plants. Now, if you go back and shoot the mud balls with water, the ones that the polluted piranha plants shoot out, you'll notice that they actually take the mud off of them and show, in fact, Petey Piranha heads. Now, this is another theory that could be the potential of how they're born. Like I said, since the nipper plant is polluted and poisoned now and mutated, it is able to transform itself into Petey Piranhas, and that's what it's doing. It's besides making more Petey Piranhas. So now, finally, what is the final verdict? Well, it's hard to tell. We know that he's a muted piranha plant for sure, but we don't know how he got mutated. Is it from E Gadd 21 years ago when he was experimenting with the paintbrush? Or 21 years ago, was that an actual real Petey Piranha? And the one we see in Super Mario Sunshine and some of the games after was actually just a replicated version from Bowser Jr. We know he replicated King Boo, it seems like, from Serena Beach as he explodes with goo and seems to be replicated from the original King Boo. But once again, I still can't help but wonder, was E Gadd mutating them on purpose?